We could harness the energetic momentum of our stress. But if we're going to do that, we got to stop lying to ourselves. The price of mindfulness is vulnerability, and it is seldom comfortable. So when we feel shitty, we gotta own up to it. With each inhalation, we access our sympathetic nervous system. This bad boy right here, ensconced within the thoracic region of our spinal cord that aligns with our rib cage. It has not evolved for active concentration, but rather for the opposite, to merely notice, and to do so vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. So when we breathe in and we access that mindfulness, an excellent label we can use, an excellent Sanskrit label we can use, an excellent ancient label we can use for when things are profoundly shitty and stressful and frightening and make you feel aggressive, is the 3-syllable word, samsara. When we feel shitty, we could use the label samsara. With each exhalation, however, we access our parasympathetic nervous system, ensconced within both the lower lumbar region of our spinal cord as well as the tippy top of the cervical region. And during each exhalation, we can meditate upon the physical relaxation and mental release as silently and mentally we recite the 3-syllable word nirvana. Nirvana is not the absence of stress as much as the absence of our resistance to the stress. As we relax into our exhalation, it could feel better. If it's only fractionally better, guess what? That's still better. So as we exhale and relax, we could use the label nirvana. So when we're really feeling shitty, we're really feeling stressed, we're really feeling anxious, we're really feeling aggressive, we really feel like we are the Grand Canyon of emotional and chemical needs, samsara, nirvana, persist with it for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and you will feel better. And as such, the great irony is that our stress becomes a dynamo, a generator, a turbine in a dam. Instead of generating electricity, generating peace. I look forward to meditating with you this evening and chatting with you as well after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I spent more than 8 hours a day, every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each sect of Buddhism so that you would not have to. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. We're going to play with the sadhana version of the Song of Enlightenment composed by Yong Jia Zhuan, approximately the year 600, and translated into English by a fellow known as Red Pine. We're going to begin by using words, not to pray, but to exercise our intention to be empathetic, our intention to be enthusiastic, known in Sanskrit, or known religiously as bodhicitta and refuge. We're going to play with 2 versions of this intention. This first version is rather literal. We're going to set it to a triplet chant together. May I liberate all beings from the tyranny of hate, engraving, and clinging. by relying on the Buddha's example of instructions and students. These three highlighted words are so powerful that they've earned the metaphoric nickname of the three wish-fulfilling jewels, kind of like Aladdin's lamp. So this is going to be a more concise and more figurative version of the same intention. We're going to set it to a bookend chant, which is our go-to chant. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. May I liberate all beings by relying on the three jewels. As children, the first bicycle we received most likely had training wheels, which, although were ungainly, were clunky and yet got the job done. Similarly, this evening, our first exercise is going to be clunky. As we breathe in, we could silently and mentally recite the 12 syllables, perceiving this very turbulent play of mind. And during our exhalation, we could recite an additional 12 syllables, relaxing into mind's non-graspable nature. Please join me in this exercise. During each inhalation, I invite you to generate a vertical traction between your head and your tuchus. Together, let's chant. Do you not see idle followers of the way? Not studying, not busy, not getting rid of delusions, not looking for the truth. The true nature of their ignorance is a Buddha nature. Their illusory empty bodies is their Dharma body. We do not have to traverse the path of being rigid, fearful, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, or cruel. Instead, we can choose the path of yin, the path of being flexible, loving, laid back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. Their Dharma body they realize does not include a thing. Their original nature is the primordial Buddha. The five skandhas are but clouds floating aimless in the sky. The three poisons are mere bubbles appearing then gone. No matter how troublesome or pleasurable our body could feel as we breathe in, as we relax into our exhalation, it could feel as non-graspable as a vast empty void. Seeing what is real but not persons or things, they instantly quench the fires of hell. Meanwhile, those who deceive others with lies spend kalpas having their tongues torn out. Einstein taught that any educated idiot can make things more complicated, more difficult, and more violent. However, it takes a lot of courage and a little bit of genius to move in the opposite direction. If someone tells you it takes the length of 3 kalpas, the length, the birth, and death of 3 universes to become a Buddha, thank them for their time and run away. Buddha said it could be done in a week. A week. There is an easy path, the path of living in harmony with the structures of our central nervous system, our sympathetic nervous system to notice, our parasympathetic nervous system to relax, and our anterior cingulate gyrus to have the highest empathy, which is spontaneous, uncontrived, and fueled by the aforementioned mindfulness and meditation. Instant understanding is hatha kata meditation. Every practice and every imperfection is present in your body. So tathagata figuratively means Buddha, literally means thus come one. So thus come one meditation means we're not contriving, we're not choosing what to feel, or what to notice, or what to not notice. We're completely vulnerable, and then we relax. The 6 passive existence look real in a dream. Once you're awake, the whole universe is gone. No punishments or blessings, nothing lost or gained. As for the heart of nirvana, do not ask for directions. Regarding that unpolished, dust-covered mirror, it's time you took a closer look. Let us forsake the path of forcing enlightenment and traverse the path of allowing it. Who has no thoughts, who is not born? What truly is not born is not born. Ask a mechanical man made of wood, how is that crust for Buddhahood coming? Despite the screeching of the fundamentalists, our job is not to be as thoughtless as a tailor's mannequin made of wood. Let's return to the idea of a child's bicycle with training wheels. Now let us remove the first of 2 metaphoric training wheels, reducing our contemplative exercise from 12 syllables per breath down to just 3. Let us practice sati, pasadis, mindfulness, and meditation, the 7th and 8th folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. As during each inhalation, we silently and mentally recite, notice this, and during each exhalation, we silently and mentally recite, relaxing. Together. Let your grip on the material world in the heart of nirvana eat. Let's try this again. Let go. Oh, I know what I need to do. Mr. Hyphen, come to the rescue. Let go your grip on the material world. In the heart of nirvana, eat and drink your fill. Let's put a comma here. Now we're going to get fancy. Move the comma here. Oh, yeah. Practices are ephemeral, everything is empty. This is the perfect enlightenment of the Buddhas. Speaking with conviction is a sign of a true monk. Those unable to indulge in asking questions. Severing roots is what marks a Buddha. Picking through leaves and twigs is not for me. So, we got big picture thinking or majoring in minors. People do not notice the jewel among jewels, waiting for them in the Tathagata Garbha, or Buddha nature. Its six powers neither empty nor not. It's perfect like neither visible nor not. So although things are we can perceive as we breathe in, and although we can relax as we breathe out, we do so gently, non-rigidly, non-superstitiously, without falling into the trap of indulging our controlling tendencies. If you've just joined me, arg, matey, welcome aboard. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. Together, purify the five roots and acquire the five abilities. Only then will you know what cannot be measured. An image in a mirror is not hard to see, but hard to grab the moon in water. So let's demystify this. So purify the five roots, acquire the five abilities. Here's the simplest way to look at this. When we spontaneously notice anger, if we relax into it, it automatically becomes equalizing wisdom. Mirror-like wisdom. If we notice greed as we breathe in, once we relax during our exhalation, our experience transforms into discerning wisdom. When we notice befuddlement as we breathe in, as we relax during our exhalation, it transforms into the wisdom of the basic space of phenomena, which sounds pretty fancy. If we notice ourselves being competitive or jealous as we breathe in, while relaxing into our exhalation, it transforms into all-accomplishing wisdom. If we notice ourselves being clingy or prideful as we breathe in, as we relax into our exhalation, it transforms into equalizing wisdom. Let us not take that literally. Let us take it figuratively. What does it mean? We're already wired by evolution to notice and release during our respective inhalation and exhalation. What is the role? What role does the 3-pound supercomputer between our ears play in the matter? It steps out of the way and allows the process to occur. Whoopsie. Well, that was exciting. Do this regularly, approximately once every 12 hours or so, and in a ridiculously short period of time, you will master this path. You will be able to practice this technique spontaneously, habitually, easily, and effectively. Together. Setting out alone, walking alone. Those who are robbed take the nirvana road. Their appearance ancient, their manner detached, ragged and gaunt, they are not noticed. Disciples without means, they are called poor, poor in possessions but not in freedom. Being poor, of course, they wimp. Their practice is treasuring the jewel within. And the jewel is the wish-fulfilling jewel. The wish-fulfilling jewel is simply a metaphor for using our sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous systems in the most empowering way. Now, let us remove the second of two metaphoric training wheels, reducing the number of syllables in each phase of breath from 3 syllables down to just 1. During each inhalation, we could silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this, and during each exhalation, we could silently and mentally recite the monosyllabic verb ease, which functions as a synonym of relax. Come together, let us practice jhanas, mindfulness, and meditation, the 7th and 8th folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path. It could be great fun to shift gears. Let's do that right now. Un momento, por favor. Let's see. Let's hit C, oops, E, easy proto zen. Okay. I'm going to hit button 14. Let's chip away at the Heart of Wisdom Sutra. It is said that Quan Chi and Pusa had knocked up of enlightened compassion, while moving in the deep peace of perfect understanding, shed light on the five aggregates and found them equally empty. After this realization, she made peace with all pain. What is the liberation the Buddha offers us? Is it liberation from the presence of pain or from our resistance to pain? Let's chant. Listen, Shariputra, form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Form does not differ from emptiness, emptiness does not differ from form. The same is true with feeling, appraisal, impulse, and awareness. So we're going to start with superficiality. What is meant by the five aggregates? Form or body, feeling or experience of pleasure, pain, or neither, appraisal, the intensity of what we just felt, impulse or primal drives to shove or reach or cling, and awareness or perception. So that's the superficiality. Now let's get to the $64,000 question. What is meant by emptiness? People make the mistake of taking emptiness literally. They typically either fall into a superstitious belief or pseudo-intellectual skullduggery. However, those who are truly fortunate have been taught the terms such as birthlessness, selflessness, deathlessness, and emptiness are simply metaphors. Every time we breathe in, thanks to our sympathetic nervous system, we are wired not for active concentration, but to merely notice, and to do so vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly. Every time we exhale, due to our parasympathetic nervous system, we are wired for both physical relaxation as well as mental release. But what has that to do with emptiness? Every time we relax into our exhalation, whatever we noticed during our inhalation can now begin to feel as if it was as non-graspable as a vast, empty void. Well, what's a real-world example of a non-graspable, vast, empty void? How about the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a bright and beautiful cloudless morn, which, although is tantalizing to the eye, is intangible to the hand? Let's chant. And by the way, the moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. Let us contemplate the three dualities. Listen, Shariputra, phenomena are marked with emptiness. They are neither produced nor destroyed, neither corrupted nor purified, neither increasing nor decreasing. Okay, that's a whole bunch of words. What's it talking about? As we breathe in, we are inundated with the dualities. Production or destruction, corruption or purification, increasing or decreasing, the external or the internal, the physical or the mental, the pleasurable or the painful, the interesting or the boring, the glorious or the grotesque. However, every time we relax into our exhalation, everything that we notice during our inhalation could feel the same way, could feel non-graspable, could feel as non-graspable as the illusion of the infinite azure sky on a clear and beautiful morning, on a cloudless, beautiful morning. So the experience of non-graspability, that is the natural process of our parasympathetic nervous system, that is naturally experienced during each exhalation, is the common denominator, the one metaphoric taste shared by all extremes, by all dualities. And so we experience non-duality not literally, but figuratively. Because if you experience literal non-duality, if you convince yourself that there's no difference between organic, fair trade, dark chocolate, and a stinking load of doggy doo, you don't get to make dessert for me. Non-duality is a metaphor. Let us not take ourselves too seriously. As we breathe in, let us silently and mentally recite the demonstrative pronoun this. As we exhale, let us silently and mentally recite the monosyllabic verb is. There was once a very popular meditation teacher who could pantomime being wiser than he was and being more peaceful than he was. And as a sincere student of neurolinguistic programming, he thought if he just faked it till he maked it, everything would be okay. But it wasn't. Instead of practicing sincerely and allowing his natural peace or lack thereof to serve as a barometer for the effectiveness of his techniques, he robbed himself of that barometer by faking results he did not earn. And after a lifetime of practice, without truly finding peace, without truly reconciling the vicissitudes of the human experience. He had a massive stroke, and his life came to a very sad end. It is said that President Lincoln shared that you can fool some of the people some of the time, but not all of the people all of the time. How much truer is that for ourselves? We can lie to ourselves, but our body will not be fooled. Our body is an excellent litmus test for our ability to process perception, emotion, intention, thought, memory, and imagination. So James asks, is the straight posture you suggest an essential posture? That is an excellent question, James. There are some who would say you must have perfect posture, you must sit in the lotus position, and if you don't, you'll never become a Buddha. I disagree with those people. I think life is not binary. It's been my experience that life is on a spectrum. Some things are better than other things. Some things are less beneficial than other things. I have found that our posture can affect our organs, including our brain. Our posture can affect our emotions. Our posture can affect our cravings. Our posture can affect our aversions. Our posture can affect everything. And I found that by making subtle adjustments to our posture, it makes meditation much easier and much more effective. And I found the opposite to be true, that by not working wisely with my posture, that I make the path more difficult than it needs to be. Fortunately, there are little tricks, little hacks we can do with our posture. Like, and if you want, I can dedicate I think I've dedicated a whole class to this, but I can do it again. Resting our ankles on a folded yoga blanket is great. Resting our tush on a firm circular cushion called a zafu can be lovely. You can find both of those things on Amazon for a nominal fee. I don't sell them. I'm not a merchant. But you can find them on Amazon. I found that adjusting the pitch of your head helps. I found that by embracing vertical traction, even just a little bit during the in-breath and relaxing during the out-breath, it helps. I found that sometimes it's very difficult, and I find myself exhausted from doing this, and I have to cut the meditation sessions short. But I found that it's a useful habit that serves me and my students well. I don't give a damn about tradition. I don't give a damn about what some fool thinks of me. I just want to master the Buddha's teachings. I want those who join me on the live streams to maximize their peace and their joy and their wisdom and their well-being as easily and as quickly as possible. So I found that adjusting the posture sustainably can really help. I hope that helps, James. Oh, by the way, lifestyle choices can make sitting more easy or more difficult. I found that life can be complicated with so many variables, and sometimes we just can't sit for as long as we'd like to. And when that happens, we have to honor our physical needs and take care of our bodies. Whether that means napping or resting or having a meal, these things can be very, very useful. So there's no room for there's no room for asceticism on the Buddha's path. We have to respect our body's many cries for help. Let's chant. Never in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no appraisal. No impulse and no awareness that once perceived cannot be released. So we've come full circle. We began with the 5 aggregates, and we're returning to the 5 aggregates like a kid with an electric train set that keeps circling in an oval, or cycling in an oval. And this is just to remind ourselves, and there's nothing mystical about these 5 aggregates. The Buddha, in his teaching career, gave the same lesson with different aggregates. Sometimes 5, sometimes 12, sometimes 18, sometimes more than 20. The basic message is the same. Whatever we notice during our in-breath, we can release during our out-breath. In the Song of Enlightened, it cautions us not to try to be a Buddha statue or a tailor's mannequin. Our posture will not always be perfect. Let us not indulge our controlling tendencies. Let us give ourselves permission to have a learning curve and a performance curve. Let's deconstruct the 3 circles of experience, beginning with what we observe. No sensation, no flavor, no scent, no sound, no sight, no phenomena that once perceived cannot be released. So this bit right here deals with perception. And this bit right here deals with emotion, intention, reason, recollection, and imagination. You've just joined us. Arg, welcome aboard, matey. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. So we're playing with the 3 circles of experience. Let me adjust something here. Oh, here's a fun idea. Let's just play with this bad boy. That's what she said. Okay, so let's get over here. So we're deconstructing the 3 circles of experience. We began with the objects of observation. Now we're going to explore the means of observation, our organs of sense. So oopsie, let's put this right here. And together let's chant. So basically what we're playing with, think of, if you will, think of an umbrella. When it's fully opened, that's like all the things we can observe. When it's halfway closed, that's like our organs of perception. When it's completely closed, that's our experience of perception. So we're returning to our organs of perception. Let's chant. No body, no tongue, no nose, no ears, no eyes, no mind that once perceived cannot be released. And once again, these first 5 deal with perception. The final one deals with a whole bunch, deals with emotion, intention, thought, memory, and imagination. Now let us rest the mind in mindfulness and meditation. As you breathe in, you can silently, and we're wired to notice as we breathe in. We're wired to notice vulnerably, passively, viscerally, and randomly, to prevent our brain from getting in the way. During our inhalation, we can play with the demonstrative pronoun this. And during each exhalation, thanks to evolution and thanks to our parasympathetic nervous system, we're already wired for physical relaxation and mental release. And so once again, to prevent our brain from getting in the way during our exhalation, we could silently and mentally recite the monosyllabic verb ease, for it functions as a synonym of relax. Welcome to the live stream. The moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, simply type your question in great detail in the chat window. So we've been playing with the three circles of experience. We began with objects of perception, and then organs of perception, and now the experience of perception. No feeling, no tasting, no smelling, no hearing, no seeing, no noticing that once perceived cannot be released. So, this is a wonderfully figurative way of saying that whatever we perceived during our inhalation, we can release during our exhalation through the magic of relaxing. We're going to explore interdependence. This is a very concise reference to the 12 interdependent links. However, there is absolutely no requirement for us to become masters of minutiae. No interdependent origins and no extinction of them. From confusion to aging and death that once perceived cannot be released. So this is just so what we're doing is over and over again repeating the same idea that due to our Buddha nature, which is an Iron Age way of saying that which we might say in this Silicon Age, that due to that we have an anterior cingulate gyrus a few inches behind our forehead that serves as the seat of empathy. Its opponent is the amygdala, the seat of fear and aggression at the base of our brain. Due to the healing efforts of our sympathetic nervous system that allows us to notice vulnerably, and the parasympathetic nervous system that helps us to physically relax and mentally release, we can be freed from the shackles of our fearful and aggressive amygdala and live in the empathy of our anterior cingulate gyrus. That's a mouthful, isn't it? That's what the ancients called our Buddha nature. We have the neural architecture necessary not only to practice the Buddha's path, but to master that. That doesn't mean we'll stop experiencing certain perceptions, emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, or imaginings that are disturbing. It simply means we will get really, really good at coping with them. Enlightenment simply means becoming the person your dog already thinks you are, becoming a healthy, well-adjusted adult. Let's revisit the Four Noble Truths. No stress, no exacerbation, no liberation, no path, no understanding, no attainment that once perceived cannot be released. So whether things be negative or positive or neutral, we can perceive them, we can release them. Because there is no attainment that once perceived cannot be released. The Bodhisattva archetypes of enlightenment supported by the perfection of understanding find no obstacles for their minds that once perceived cannot be released. Having no obstacles that once perceived cannot be released, they transcend the tyranny of fear, liberating themselves forever from the tyranny of illusion and realizing perfect nirvana. All the Buddhas of the past, present, and future, thanks to this perfect understanding, arrive at full right and universal enlightenment. Therefore, one should know that perfect understanding is like a great mantra, is like an unequaled mantra, the destroyer of all suffering, the incorruptible truth. A mantra prajna paramitas, perfect understanding could therefore be proclaimed. This is the mantra gate gate para samgate bodhi swaha. May all beings go completely and perfectly go to enlightenment. Let us train in the third, fourth, and fifth folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path, kind ethics. May all beings practice self-kind communication, conduct in calmness, spontaneous, and uncontrived. Let us conclude with right view and right intentions, first and second folds of the Buddha's Eightfold Path, formatted as the Four Immeasurables. May everyone be free from misery, may everyone be happy, may no one be separated from the happiness, may everyone have balance from the tyranny of hating, craving, and clinging freed. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately, whoops, look at that. In approximately, let's see, let's do some math here. 6, 12, 11, in approximately 11 hours or so, I would very much like to return to lead tomorrow's morning meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.